Good morning students, welcome in this class. This video is for class 7 subject social science. We are studying about history chapter 7 tribes, nomads and settled communities. It is the second lecture of this chapter and in today's lecture the topics to be discussed are first one changing society, new caste and hierarchy system, the Gonds community and the Ahoms, and in last homework will be given to you. Yes friends, in our previous chapter or lecture we have studied about that new cities which were developing in medieval period. Okay, and we have discussed about the tribal groups also. So in today's lecture that we will study about these two tribal communities, Gonds and Ahoms in details, means a closer look of Gonds and Ahom tribal community. So let's start today's discussion. Yes, changing societies, new caste and hierarchy system. Economy and the needs of the society grew. People with new skills were required. What does it mean? So as we have studied that new cities were developed. Okay, new cities developed. So in this way, according to the time that the needs of the people, okay, also were increasing and changing. And to fulfill this basic needs of the common people, that now the you can say new skilled people were required to fulfill these needs, to make these objects, products. Okay, so in this way that smaller caste or jatis merged within varnas. What does it mean? Yes friends, as I told you in previous lecture about the varnas, that Hindu societies was divided into four varnas: Brahman, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras. But later on you can say that these varnas were also subdivided. Okay, like these four categories were subdivided into caste and jatis. Like Brahmans were also divided into different categories like Chaturvedi Brahman, Divedi Brahman, means Chaturvedi is the person who had the knowledge of four Vedas, Divedi, those who had the knowledge of two Vedas. Okay, and in the same way Kshatriyas category was also divided into castes and jati subcategories, Rajput, Marathas, in this way. Okay, so means now that you can say that these varnas divided on the basis of occupation. The people, those who were involved in that you can say trading activities, Vaishyas, or that you can say farmers. So in this category also that subcaste and subjatis were merged. Okay, on the basis of their occupation, like those people, those who were involved in that agriculture, they were known as Kisan. Those who were that involved in tools making with iron, they were known as Lohar. Okay, in the same way that you can say many subcaste and jatis merged, okay, in these varnas or society. New caste appeared amongst the Brahmans. This I told you that Brahmans were also divided into subcastes. Many tribes and social groups were taken into caste based society and given the status of jatis. What does it mean? I told that these tribal communities, when they started to interact, okay, come in the contact of these common people, so that the lifestyles of the common people influence the tribal people also. Earlier there were no caste system in the tribal communities, there was equality. Okay, but this caste system, okay, which they you can say which was found in the Hindus society, in the common people. Okay, so this lifestyle influenced the lifestyle of the tribal communities also. Okay, now in the tribes also that caste and jatis were started to merge. Okay, now we will study about these two main you can say caste or tribal communities. Okay, among the Kshatriyas, new Rajput clans became powerful by the 11th and 12th centuries. Okay, belong to different that lineages such as Huans, Chandelas, Chalukyas and other. And many of these clans regarded as Rajput gradually replaced the older rulers, especially in agricultural areas. a developed society was merging, rulers used their wealth to create powerful. As I told you that in Kshatriyas communities also that new caste or sub caste jatis were merged, and in which the main you can say clan was their Rajput clan. Okay. So this was there, and the other was also there like Huans also, Chandelas also, Chalukyas also. So these were some Kshatriyas categories, the subcaste of the Kshatriyas community. Okay, now we will discuss about the Gond tribal community. The Gond vast forested region called Gondwana or country inhabited by Gonds practiced shifting cultivation. Tribe was further divided into much smaller clans. Yes friends, Gonds. Actually the Gonds is a tribal community, okay, at present time also that it is present in the central part of India. So means the central part of India at present Maharashtra, okay, Madhya Pradesh. So in this area the tribal community which was lived there, that area was known as Gondwana area, because that there was a large number of tribal community Gond were living there, and in the starting they were involved in means you can say shifting cultivation. Okay, and later on as I told that the caste system of the common people influenced the lifestyle of the tribal also. So means this Gond community ki earlier they were lived in a single group, okay, but later on that caste system, okay, or that they were also divided into small groups which were known as clans, different you can say that jatis. Each clan had its own Raja or Roy. When the power of the Delhi Sultans was declining, a few large Gond kingdoms began to dominate the smaller Gond chiefs. Okay, and the Akbarnama, a history of Akbar's reign, mentions the Gond kingdom of Gadkatanga that had 70,000 villages. Yes friends, try to understand what is there. As I told about the Gonds area, the central part of the area that is known as Gondwana, and where that the prominent tribal community was Gond. Okay, so at that time in the northern part, Miss Delhi. So at that time when the Delhi Sultan was declining, okay, they were losing their power. So at that time that this Gond community, okay, tribal community, then they started to, because at that time no powerful you can say ruler were there, because I told that Delhi Sultans were declining, so no power was there at that time. Okay, so they took the advantages of these things and they started to expand their kingdom. Who? This Gond tribal communities. Okay, and they began to dominate smaller Gond chiefs. Okay, and we that you can see we get the information about this Gond communities in a history book that was the Akbarnama written by Abul Fazl. Okay, and this Gond kingdom is known as Gadkatanga. Okay, Gadkatanga, and it was said that it was so large empire that it included around 70,000 villages. Okay, so means around 70,000 villages were included in Gadkatanga or Gond kingdom. So we can come to know that how much large empire was under this tribal community. Earlier they just lived in a small clan. Understood about the Gond? Yes, now we will discuss about more about the Gond community. Administrative system of these kingdoms became centralized, means that they were the main center or the chief or head of this community. Okay, those who you can say look all administrative system. Kingdom divided into Ghar, and each Ghar controlled by a particular Gond clan, further divided into units of 84 villages called Chorasi. Now listen to understand what is there about the administrative system. As I told you, the complete area which was under the control of Gond community, that was known as Gadkatanga. Okay, so that as now present day, that like our complete country, that whole country is India. Then India is divided into states. State is divided into, you can say, states, district, village, towns, cities, in this way. So at the same way beta, at the time that the complete area kingdom was known as Gadkatanga, and this was divided into further divided into smaller units. Okay, and this smaller unit, that there is a group of 8, total I told you 70,000 villages was there, and then they divided this 70,000 villages into a group of 84 village. Okay, and this 84 village was known as 84. Understood? Like as I told that India is divided into states, states are further divided, town, cities, in this way the same is there. Gadkatanga divided into smaller unit, and the group of 80 villages was known as 84, and this 84 village again divided into the smaller unit 84. 184 was subdivided into barots. Barots means 12, 12 हैं. Okay, made up of 12 village each. So means how many that barots were there in 84? That is 7. Okay, because that there is a group of 12 village. So 84 village means 7 groups were there. Understood about it? So these were known as barots. So you must know about barots means the group of 12 village, and 84 means the group of 84 village. Okay. Yes, emergence of the large states changed the nature of Gond society. Okay. And how it is changed? Basically, equal society gradually got divided into unequal social classes. Yes friends, as I told, when they lived in the small clan, small group, so there were no caste system. Okay, so they lived in a, you can say, kabila. Their group was known as kabila, in a group, and there was equality, no caste system. But when this that got the large empire, so this you can say empire was divided into that you can say caste system. Okay, earlier equality was there, but now this equality was not there, and the caste system, jati system also merged in the tribal community, especially in the Gonds. Brahmins received land grants from the Gond Rajas. Okay, now they started to miss this Gond chief Sardar, they started to compare themselves as rulers, Rajputs. Okay, and for that, okay, to show their you can say power, that they gave donations to this Brahman. Okay, and for that means they became more influenced. The Gond chiefs wished to be recognized as Rajput. This I told you. Ki now they didn't want to just remain as a that tribal chief, Sardar of Kabila. No, they started to compare. They wanted to that be recognized as Rajput rulers. Understood about it? And for that, what did they do? So Aman Das, the Gond Raja of Gadkatanga, assumed the title of Sangram Shah. Okay, so who was the main chief of the Gadkatanga, all this empire? That was Aman Das. Yes students, listen here. Das means slave. Ki earlier they you can say lived a life like a slave, but now they wished to live a life of a that ruler. So for that he assumed the title Sangram Shah, means he changed his name. So in place of Aman Das, now he changed his name Sangram Shah. And to be you can say, for that what did he do to become popular? His son Dalpat married Princess Durgavati, the daughter of Salban the Chandel Rajput, okay, Raja of Mohoba, and Dalpat died earlier. What does it mean? Okay, so means to take that show his power, so that this Sangram Shah, chief Gond, that he allowed his son, you can say Dalpat, married with a Rajput family, that was, and the Durgavati, and she was the daughter of a Chandel Rajput, and the name of that person Salban. Okay, and he was the Raja of Mohoba. But this means you can say his son Dalpat died before his age, means in the early age he died. Okay, so that his wife, that was the Durgavati. So Rani Durgavati was capable, started you can say ruling on behalf of her 5-year-old son Bir Narayan. Under her, the kingdom became even more extensive. So as I told that Dalpat died in early age. So at that time that Rani Durgavati, now she was the, you can say, ruler of this Gond kingdom and started ruling, and on the behalf of her 5-year-old son, and the name of that her son was Bir Narayan. Okay, so after that what happened? So in 1565 the Mughal forces under the Ashraf Khan attacked Gadkatanga. Strong resistance was put up by Durgavati. She was defeated, preferred to die rather than surrender, and her son too died fighting. Okay, so means after passing that time, when then after the declining of the, you can say, Delhi sultans, now the Mughal empire that merged in northern part of India in the Delhi. So in 1565 the Mughal force, okay, then the leader of this Mughal force, that Ashraf Khan, so these Mughal empire, you can say, attacked on this area Gadkatanga. As I told, Durgavati was the ruler. Okay, so she put resistance. This Mughal forces bravely, but she was defeated. Okay, and preferred to die rather than surrender. Means she didn't surrender and died with fighting with these Mughal rulers, and her son also fighting. So after the death of, you can say, Rani Durgavati, that this Gadkatanga or God empire declined. Now we will read about it. Gadkatanga, a rich state, earned much wealthy by trapping and exporting wild elephants to other kingdoms. As I told, that was that forested area. Okay, so in which that there were you can say, was a great you can say wealth, because that many things, natural resources are found in the forest area. So that area was very rich. They had a large amount of that, you can say, elephant, and which were exported to the other kingdom and earned money. So when this Mughal empire attacked on this Gadkatanga and defeated Rani Durgavati, so they plundered that all this, you can say, wealth from this area. Mughal defeated the Gonds. They captured a huge booty of precious coins and elephant. Okay, means all these things they took away from there. A next part of the kingdom granted the rest of Chandra Shah, an uncle of Bir Narayan. What does it means? Ki most of the part they took, Mughal empire took most of the part of the wealth, but one small area they gave to the Chandra Shah. Who was Chandra Shah? Actually, Chandra Shah was, you can say, that brother of Dalpat Shah, okay, or uncle of Bir Narayan. And why did he give? Because that to protect, you can say, the attacks of the that Gond community in future. Okay, or make them pleased. This is there. So means as I told that after the death of the Rani Durgavati, this God empire declined. So despite the fall of Gadkatanga, Gond kingdom survived for some times only. They became much weaker, later struggled unsuccessfully against the stronger Bundelas and Marathas. Means there was also other communities, those who attacked on these tribal communities Gond. Okay, but we can see better that it was a tribal communities, but after that it was very powerful. Okay. So now we will study about next tribal community, that was Ahom. Okay, Ahoms migrated to the Brahmaputra valley from present day Myanmar in the 13th century, created a new state by suppressing the older political systems of that Bhuyan's landlords, and during the 16th century annexed the kingdoms of Koch, that Hazo 1581, subjugated many other tribes, built a large state, and for this they used firearms as early as 1530s. So now listen about the Ahom communities. Actually, Ahom were the tribal communities, those who came in India from the present day, you can say, Myanmar. At that time it was known as Burma, that was the neighboring country of India. They came in India from that part, okay, Myanmar or Burma. This is there in 13th century, and when they entered in India, so they attacked, or you can say pressing the older political, you can say landlord. Here at that time, the landlords were there. So these tribal communities that attacked and defeated this Bhuyan's landlord community, okay, and annexed their kingdom of the Ch-7, okay, and subjugated many other tribes, and they built a very large state, okay. And beta, they were so much advanced. So far in the war to fight, they used firearm, means gun. Okay, at that time they had the knowledge of gun. They had this so much powerful weapons. So at that time they used firearms in 1530s. Okay, so now by the 1660s, they could even make high quality gunpowder and cannons. Cannon means top. The Ahom faced many invasions from the southwest. In 1662, Mughal under Mir Jumla attacked the Ahom kingdoms. Okay. So as I told, say they had the more advanced weapons. They used gunpowder, cannons. So means, but these Ahom communities, tribal community, they faced a you can say many invasion from the southwest, and one attack was done by Mir Jumla. About this person we have studied in our that previous chapter, Machilipatnam city. Okay, so at that time that Mughal emperor sent Mir Jumla for the protections of the Machilipatnam. So that person was there. So now the Mughal ruler were there. So this Mir Jumla attacked the Ahom kingdom. Okay, despite their brave defense, were defeated. Direct Mughal control over the region could not last long. Ahom stayed dependent upon forced labor. Those who forced to work for the state were called pigs. Now we will discuss about it. Ki when this Mughal empire that attacked on this Ahom community, so they defeated. They couldn't you can say defend themselves, and defeated by the Mughal. And now this Ahom kingdom that came under the control of Mughal empire. Now we will discuss about that administrative system of Ahom, ki how they that administrated their large kingdom. Okay, so Ahom state dependent upon forced labor. What does it mean? Okay, now we will are discussing about that administrative that system. Ki how was the system under Ahom communities? Now it was declined. Okay, so how they ruled? What about their administrative center? Ahom state dependent upon forced labor. Forced labor means, what does it mean, beta? Actually, they adopted a method or technique, okay, in which they divided the, you can say, all areas into smaller unit, which was known as khel. As we have studied that in Gond communities, they were known as Chorasi or that Baharots. This is there, okay, and in Ahom kingdom, the area was divided into small units, and these were small units were known as that pigs. So means actually that when there was any war, so the people from the village, common people from the village, they had to take part in the war. Okay, according to the, you can say, rotation wise. When there is any when there was any construction work, okay, making any palace, dam or any other things, means any construction work, so at that time also that the labor work was done by the common people living in village. Okay, so means they provide this labor according to their turn. Understood about it? This is there. So this forced labor work to state for were called pigs, and these people were known as pig. Okay, each village has to send a number of pig by rotation. As I told you, means when any construction work is there, and when you can say any war is there, so this that in the home administration, that the common people give their turn according to their rotation. People from heavily populated area shifted to less populated place. The another, you can say, feature of the home administration, that there is a equal distribution of the population. At that time that there was a calculation of counting of population, census. Okay, and if they found that in any village there was more population, then the people shifted to that places where there were less population. So this was also feature of Ahom administration. Ahom clans were thus broken up. By the first half of the 17th century, administration became quite centralized. All adult males served in the army during the war, and they were also engaged in building dams, irrigation system and other public work. Also introduced new method of rice cultivation. Already we have discussed that when there any war is there, these people gave their turn, they had to take part in at the time of constructional activities also. Okay, and they that introduced the new methods of, they had the knowledge of cultivations also. Ahom society divided into clans or khel. This I already told you that this administration was divided into small units which were known as khel, and very few caste of artisans. So artisan in the Ahom area came from the adjoining kingdom. Yes, the one main you can say that point related to this there, कि in the Ahom administration there were very less number of artisans. Artisans were not there, and so how the work of these activities, those constructional activities was done, means they that you can say brought, and they called these artisans from the nearby or neighboring their areas or countries, adjoining kingdom. A khel controlled several villages, and the peasants was given land by his village communities. Okay, so that there was a group of village, also village communities in which several villages come under a khel. Okay, and in which that the main functions of this community that provide land to the farmers, peoples to for cultivation. Okay, and once the land was given to any person for cultivation, so that was very strong rule. So without the permission of the community, even the king could not take this land from that farmer. So means that was a very rule and regulations. Originally the Ahom worshipped their own tribal gods. If we talk about the religions of the Ahom, as I told that they came from the that Myanmar, and as we know that there was the Buddhism. Both religion was there. So in starting they adopted the that Buddhism, and along with it they had their own you can say different tribal culture also. During the first half of 17th centuries, influence the Brahmins increased. When they settled, came in India, so now that they influenced by the Brahmins, means Hinduism, and many that these Ahom communities adopted Hinduism. Temples, Brahmins granted land by king. In the reign of Singh, Hinduism became the prominent religions. Okay, so at that time is when there was the Singh ruler were there in this area. So at that time, this that Hinduism was the main or prominent religions of these tribal communities. But they adopted Hinduism also, but along with it, they practiced their own different culture and custom also. Okay, Ahom kings did not completely give up their traditional belief after adopting Hinduism. This I told you. Poets, scholars were given land grants, theatre increased, important works of Sanskrit translated into local language, historical works known as that Buranjis were written first in Ahom language and then in Asmi language. So I told you that they come from Myanmar and settled in the northeastern part, means in the area of Assam. Okay, so means about this that you can say about these Ahoms, that historical records which tell about or which give information about the Ahom, these were known as that is Buranjis, and it was written in the Asmi language. Okay, so students, in this way this chapter is completed. Now note down homework. First question, who were Ahoms? How did they build a large state? Second, how do nomadic pastoralists live and earn? Question 3, how did the tribes earn their livelihood? Fourth question, write a brief note on Banjaras. So this is your homework. Now we will have a discussion on homework solution of lecture 1. First, who was the chief of that Gakkad tribe? We have studied about the two tribes, Gakkad and Khokar, those who lived in the Punjab, and the main chief of this tribal community, Kamal Khan. Who subjugated the Cherus? Yes, Aurangzeb. Under Aurangzeb, Mughal forces captured many Cherus forests and subjugated the tribe. Who were nomads? Nomads are wandering people, means the people those who move from one place to another are known as nomads. Many of them pastoralists who roam from one pasture land grazing land to another with their flocks and herds, groups of animals. What is clan? It is a group of families or household claiming descent from a common ancestor, and tribal organization is often based on kinship or clan loyalties. What kind of exchanges took place between nomadic pastoralists and settled agriculture? So the things like wool, ghee and many other animal products were exchanged with settled agriculturalists from grain, cloth, utensil and other products. So friends, in this way our today's lecture is completed. Tomorrow we will meet again with the summary lecture of this chapter. Thank you. Have a nice day.